scrimmage it has become here in Chicago. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Chicago Bears.
At their own 24-yard line.
Pass complete to Loveland. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time, as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Williams looking to do it himself. Able to slither by. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Looking to throw is Williams. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
To throw, Williams. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
So on 4th down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
This across the 20, but not much further, as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game. It will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Off the option, here's Henry. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Tyler Loop now to try the field goal. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
3-3, a tight one after one on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's a toss play right to Swift. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Off the edge and right to the ball that time was Kyle Van Noy.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
That's caught. The tight end Loveland with it. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Bears field goal. A 33-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A first down carry for Henry. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A short throw caught by Andrews. A gain of 8 there on the play. And 3rd and 1 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all they needed. First down.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield to catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 4th down, on is Tyler Luke for the Baltimore field goal.
He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throw there, it's intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Henry.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back their own.
Now it's Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry.
And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
Henry. Touchdown, Baltimore. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense ready to get going again. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animating.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Not too many teams will use a 1st-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage.
That's downfield. He's got Loveland. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far, even backed up late. They're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Gets around him. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Up come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 yards still to go, 3rd down now. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Room here to run. Inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but takes it all the way into the end zone.
Touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want to get the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Well, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Off the play fake, it's Williams. Oh, a doozy wide open. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence the big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Williams. That's caught left side, Burden. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was saying about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. Pass caught right side by Loveland. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
To throw, it's Williams. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Throwing is Williams. Over the middle, that's to Loveland, the tight end. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw for it with Williams. They'll try and do, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Caleb Williams, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears have cut it back within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
And he's not going to get in as a try for 2 comes up empty, so they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know one big play that gets them right back up to that level.
It's Dominic Robinson who comes in and makes a play.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They go play action now. Jackson. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
From the gun on third down, Jackson going deep for Hopkins. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Wright. And the Bears are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try to chip someone at the second level.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
All that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. To the air, Williams. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. This one from 48 yards away. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now Jackson. That's complete. Zay Flowers with it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Oh, boy, Derrick Henry shaken up after that last play and in some discomfort down there. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Jackson going to keep it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of 30. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got him on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Jackson now. Bateman's got it on the crossing route here. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there of 22.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They go option right on 2nd and goal. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Ravens get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
looking to put a drive together. Looking to throw is Williams. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
To throw, Williams. He'll try and do this himself. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Williams looking to do it himself. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Wow, that ball was knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Working out of the gun, Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Swift is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
From the gun, here's Williams. That's to Moore, and he's got it. Touchdown, Bears. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bears have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
The touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. A little juke. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario
Get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
131 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Able to push his way through. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. In motion left, Flowers. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Henry up the middle. Powers through it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Jackson going to keep it running right. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.
PlayStation